They have played 193 games in total. 48 wins with white, 16 wins with black, a total of 64 victories between them. This is the first ever victory. This took place in a team competition called the Young Pioneers. Now, at the time, Karpov was 24, Kasparov was 12. In this video series, I will be looking at lots of victories, possibly all of the victories between Karpov and Kasparov. e4, c5. We have the Sicilian, knight f3, d6, d4. We have the open Sicilian, take, take. Knight f6, knight c3, a6. We have the Sicilian Najdorf. Kasparov is known for playing this throughout his entire career. Bishop e2, Karpov is getting ready to castle. e5, attack the knight just drops back. Bishop e7, bishop g5 first. What is Karpov's idea? Well, by putting the bishop here, maybe you actually want to deliberately give up the bishop for the knight, because then this knight can actually sit very well in the center. This is called an outpost, because when this knight goes here, no pawn can attack it. Bishop e6. You tend to get this in the Sicilian, Najdorf. Two bishops in the center. This bishop controls this square. f4, getting another pawn in the center. But if white gets f5 in, this could be dangerous. That's why Kasparov takes it. Bishop takes f4. Now this bishop is facing the pawn on d6. Knight c6. Planning to come in the center. Castle, castle. King h1. This is normally a useful move. You just want to get out of the way of any checks, because black could put his queen here, attacking the king. So you just sidestep. b5. This is a way for black to get counterplay on the queen side, on the left. Get your pawns moving. Bishop f3. Looks like both bishops have the potential to slice the board. But Kasparov puts his knight in the middle. This is a really cool move, and it's a typical move in the Sicilian. There's no pawn here, there's no pawn here. This is an outpost for the black knight. Knight comes back in the middle, controlling lots of squares, also attacking the bishop. Bishop comes to c4, attacking the rook. Karpov plays rook f2. Perhaps an odd-looking move, but the idea is to swing to d2, to put pressure on this file. b4, attacking the knight. Knight goes in the middle. The knight is very strong. Kasparov decides to take, take, take. Now this pawn is further advanced, controlling two new squares, c6 and e6. Pawn is well defended by this bishop. Bishop f6, great move. Bishop defends knight, so if you take, then you take, and this bishop is absolutely perfect, attacking the knight and this pawn, so then black can actually play queen out, facing the king. That's why taking this knight is terrible. He didn't play it. Bishop f6, rook d2, queen b6, putting pressure on the knight, but more importantly, now the rooks can come in the game. Bishop e3, threatening a discovered attack. The knight can move to f5, queen gets out of the way. Bishop e4, two bishops in the middle, rook e8, potentially facing against both bishops. So Karpov just moves the bishop back home, all the way to g1, giving the king some protection, also keeping an eye on the knight on d4, just protecting it. g6, good move. Kasparov blunts this bishop. a3, putting a question to this pawn, but Kasparov just defends it with a5. Take, take. Pair of rooks come off. Take, take. b3, attacking the bishop. The bishop moves back, keeping an eye, keeping control on this wonderful diagonal. Knight c6. The knight has a new home. If black plays takes, which he did, then after take, this pawn is now further advanced, supported by the bishop. Rook e8, attacking the bishop, but the bishop now has a new home. It's a perfect bishop right in the center of the board. If we draw in all the arrows, it defends the pawn on c6. It puts pressure on this pawn facing the king. Not only that, it defends this pawn and defends a pawn that's in front of your king. This is the absolute star piece. The perfect bishop right in the center of the board. Bishop c3, Kasparov has his bishops as well, controlling lots of squares. It's like both sides have got a couple of bishops, which are so useful. Look at all the slicing going on. Bishop attacks the rook, rook goes to f2, rook e1. Black is making some progress. Queen comes to f3. Maybe white is the one who's making real progress. Queen and rook and bishop attack the pawn on f7. Bishop d4, attacking the rook. So white cashes in, bishop takes f7, check, king comes up, bishop back to c4, offering a trade, but it looks like black is the one who might grab his rook. In the game, rook takes g1, check was played, but what if the guy took, then queen takes, and the problem is both of these guys are hanging. So if you play bishop here, then queen e1. Let's say the bishop moves, and then the game goes on, maybe here, queen b4. Queen d2, c4. White's doing well. Black takes the bishop first. Rook takes, bishop, check. King takes, bishop takes, rook, check. That's why he did it. Take with check, then check again. King takes. Now the bishops come off, take. But in this position, white has an asset on c6, supported by the queen. White has a winning position. Let's see how Karpov won this. Queen a7, check, king e2. Queen d4, queen is so well placed in the center. Queen d5, right in the middle, defending everything. Do you remember, there was a bishop on this square, but now it's been replaced by a queen. Absolutely doing a star job. Defending the 2 pawns and defending this. By the way, you can't push yet because we can all blunder. Queen takes c4, check. Once the king moves, then you take your pawn. Queen f6, queen e4, defending everything. b3. Throwing in a decoy because Kasparov wants to create some checks. So you take it. Check. King moves. Check. Queen blocks. Check. Hide. Check. Hide. Queen b6 coming back. But now check. King h6. Queen f8 check. In this position, black resigned. If we played on a bit, if king g5, check. And then you can push. And there's no good ways to stop it. If you play queen f2, black is threatening checkmate. You just give your king some room. There's no perpetual check. Queen f1 check. King h2 check. King g1. And this is the reason. The queen is so well placed, controlling all these squares and giving assistance to the pawn. Check. King f2. Check. King e2. Still controlling these squares, and there's no good check. That's it. This is the first ever victory between these two players. Thanks a lot for watching all the way until the end. If you enjoyed this video, why not give it a like and subscribe to the channel at the same time. If you press the bell, that means YouTube will let you know when I release a new video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.